Hey guys, I am finally back to do my next character review. um, Sorry it took so long, but like I mentioned in my last video, from now on, Chris and I are going to be doing, only 2 videos a week, one each of us. Our first video of the character that we choose is going to be done 1 week, then the response is going to be done the following week. And like I also mentioned in my last video, this time we're doing reviews of Lotso from Toy Story 3 and Victoria from The Corpse Bride. He did his Victoria review last week, and I did my Lotso review last week. Then he did his Lotso review earlier this week, and I'm here today to do my Victoria review. Anyway, hopefully this review won't take too long, because it's a pretty short list of complaints, at least compared to some that I've seen. And the complaints are, she gets in the way of Emily and Victor being together. She's boring, she's whiny, she's stupid, she's ugly, she has no personality, and she has no chemistry with Victor. Okay. I have to confess that I wasn't really a big follower of Corpse Bride, especially, Victoria. So while I knew that she wasn't as popular as Emily was, I didn't know that she had this many dumb complaints about her. So I was a little surprised when I heard these. Anyway, starting with the whole, she gets in the way of, Emily and Victor being together. Well, he is her fiancé, and, he is her fiancé, and, how would you react if anybody, if any of your loved ones, especially, your fiancé, if you found out that they were, marrying, a zombie? If you found out they were marrying or were married to a zombie. I don't think that I would take that well. I would probably try to intervene and find out, just what happened. I mean, okay, if you prefer, Emily and Victor as a couple as opposed to Victor and Victoria, that's your business. I'm not going to point any fingers at you for that, but, you really can't blame her for trying to get in the way of them being together, especially considering the fact that, he's her fiancé, and he's, now, for whatever reason, married to the living dead. She has every right to be concerned about that. So you really can't point any fingers at her about that. Nice try, but come up with a better reason than than her uh, than her getting in their way. She's boring. I've been over this many times. Boring is very subjective and very much in the eye of the beholder. I mean, I wouldn't call her the most deep and interesting character that ever existed, but I do find her pretty interesting. If she's boring in your opinion, then she's probably not a character for you. But different people find different characters to be boring. It just all depends on personal taste. I mean, I don't have anything against them, but I honestly find a lot of the Disney princesses to be kind of boring. And a lot of the characters from the Disney princess movies in general to be kind of boring. To me, they're kind of the they don't have very original personalities, and they're characters that have been done several times and nothing new, and they're just characters that aren't my thing, but they obviously have a ton of fans since they're the most popular Disney princess or Disney franchise out there. And I'm not saying that they're poorly done or anything, they're just not my cup of tea. She's whiny. How? There's a difference between being whiny and not being happy about something. Kind of like stupid, which I'll get into later. Whiny is a complaint that gets thrown around a lot. I mean, when I think of whiny characters, I think of ungrateful, spoiled brats that whine about everything, like Veruca Salt from the either Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that's always whining about every little thing. I mean, yeah, Victoria isn't happy with her situation, but can you blame her? I mean, twice in the movie she pretty much had to marry a guy that she knew nothing about. So to me, that's not whiny. I mean, I'm trying to imagine myself in that situation. And to me, the fact that she even agreed to do it shows that she's a very strong woman, especially for the time period, and was willing to do it to help her family, despite the fact that her family really doesn't seem to give a frick about her, and is way too wrapped up in their family name and that sort of thing. So yeah, I think that a lot of people confuse whiny with being unhappy with the situation, even if a character has a legitimate reason to be unhappy. Uh, and that sort of thing, because a lot like stupid, this complaint gets thrown around a lot. Um, sorry for stammering. Webby, I know, has been accused of being whiny on various occasions because she has complained about um, the, the boys not wanting to complain with her, not wanting to play with her and that sort of thing. Um, and I don't see how something like that is whiny. um, and, uh, various other characters. So, I think that people need to get the definition of whiny, uh, straightened out. She's stupid. How? Again, like whiny, stupid gets thrown around a lot. Um, I mean, there have been a ton of characters that have been accused of being stupid, like, Ariel and Melody and Webby and, Scamp and Joy. Those characters have all been accused of being stupid. I think, Kiara also. Um, how is Victoria stupid? I mean, she doesn't really even behave in a, ignorant or immature way like, the rest of the characters that I listed do. Um, I mean, at least those characters had the excuse of, at least with those characters, they behaved in a ignorant and immature way. Um, and like I've mentioned before, so far we've had, 3 1/3 characters where it's been an arguably legitimate complaint, like, and those being, Anastasia Tremaine, Launchpad McQuack, Goofy, and Hugo. The reason that Hugo is only a 1/3 is because, it was given to all of the gargoyles from the Hunchback. um, and also, like I've mentioned before, to me, a character being stupid is not necessarily... Even if a character is actually stupid, or arguably so like those characters are, that's not really a legitimate reason to hate them. I mean, a character has to be a total drooling idiot in order for me to hate them. Like, Dez from Austin and Ally, Goofy from the new Mickey Mouse shorts, not the, Goofy from a Goofy movie and that sort of thing. Goofy from the new Mickey Mouse shorts, where, he's such a drooling idiot that, he can't even get to the bathroom on time and that sort of thing. Those are the characters that I think of when I think of a character that's so stupid they're unlikable. But, I really don't see how Victoria is stupid at all. I mean, she's a very clever character, and a very strong female character, at least for the time period, in my opinion. Like the fact that even after she was locked in her room, she escaped and went to the pastor for help, for Victor and that sort of thing. Um, and after Lord whoever, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, revealed his intentions, she gets back at him, by saying, well, as far as disappointment goes, we're equal. So yeah, she's a very strong female character, and very clever in my opinion. I really don't see how she's stupid. This is very illegitimate and somebody really reaching for uh, a lame reason to hate her. She's ugly. Eh. Well, while I do understand that the Tim Burton animation style certainly isn't for everybody, disliking a character, solely because of how they look is very, very shallow and childish. Also, to answer your question, Chris, I personally do think that that Emily is prettier than Victoria. That's not to say that I necessarily think that she's a better character. I like them both a lot, but yes, I personally think that Emily's prettier than Victoria. Yeah, you know me and the unconventional beauties. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Disliking a character solely because of how they look is definitely a weak reason. And while I can definitely understand not liking the Tim Burton style, because it is a very arguably ugly style, it's still not really a legitimate reason to dislike a character. And this complaint gets thrown around. Their ugly complaint gets thrown around a lot, as just kind of a weak reason to dislike a character. And as I've said many times before, there are characters that I dislike, but I find attractive, like Sinbad or Flynn Rider, and characters that I like that I find ugly, like Quasimodo or Ursula. And I don't base whether I like or dislike a character on their looks. I mean, if there is a character that I dislike, that I find unattractive, like Peter Pan or something, I might add that as a negative about them, but I definitely don't add it as a reason why I hate them. She has no personality. Another complaint that gets thrown around a lot. With characters like Prince Charming, Odette, Beast in his human form, Madeline from Hunchback 2, a bunch of them. Uh, as I've said many, many, many times before, unless it's a character that only has one or two lines and is a very, very minor background character. Oh yeah, Ilsa's another one. Unless it's a character that's a very, very minor background character and only has one or two lines, they've got a personality. It may not be one that you like, it may be one-dimensional, it may be poorly developed, whatever, but they've got a personality. So, nice try, but pick a better reason. And I'm not gonna get too deep into this, because I've been over it several times. And finally, she has no chemistry with Victor. Huh? Really? Well, they definitely aren't the best developed couple in my opinion, but I guess chemistry is in the eye of the beholder. Like I said, they definitely aren't the best developed couple, but she's definitely got more than Emily does with Victor, since the majority of the time he's with Emily, he's pretty much trying to escape from her. And unfortunately, I have a feeling that this complaint is thrown out by most people because they prefer him with Emily. And like I said earlier, if you personally prefer him with Emily, that's your personal opinion. I'm not going to point any fingers at you for preferring them together, but it's really not a legitimate reason to hate Victoria. I mean, I've been guilty of disliking characters solely because I preferred solely because I didn't like them as another character's love interest and that kind of stuff. Like, for a long time, I hated the character Clarabelle Cow because I didn't like her and Goofy as a couple. I either prefer him single or I prefer him with Sylvia from an extremely Goofy movie. But then I eventually realized that she's actually a good character in and of herself, and that it was just her relationship with Goofy that I didn't like very much. So, if you personally prefer, sorry for going over this so many times. If you personally prefer Emily and Victor together, I don't have a problem with that, but I really don't see it as a legitimate reason to hate Victoria, since, well, the whole point of the movie is the fact that Emily learned to get over her to get over her broken heart, and since since Victoria as a character has nothing to do with uh, Victor and Emily's relationship. So, sorry if I'm sounding confusing, but Emily being a decent character has nothing to do... Ugh. Victoria being a decent character has nothing to do with Victor and Emily's relationship. So, that's really not a legitimate reason to dislike her. Sorry if I'm being confusing. So... That's about all I have to say about the complaints. Unfortunately, I think a lot of them are thrown out there as weak reasons to dislike her because people prefer Victor and Emily as a couple, without really considering what a good character Victoria is. Personally, I think that Victor and Victoria are a much better couple, and Emily and Victor are much better as friends. I think that that Victoria is a very good character in and of herself. Also, like I said, I think that she's a very strong and competent woman, especially for her time. And that's about all that I have to say. The link to my first video and Chris's 2 videos will be in the description box below. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye, and see you next time.